As you get closer, you hear phrases such
Sophie!
as "Evening, Mayor,"
How do,
or
Sophie?
"I'd be with you, Igor," and he gives you a beaming
messed up my
smile not
cameras.
usually associated with
Fixed it.
pretentious events, and says, "Well met, friends, for we are all such tonight. Find a place to sit and enjoy
I
the
hate it here.
service.
Why?
The day's dawn heralds
Don't
new
you
events
hear?
for all of us.
Here,
Yuri,
Ginger, I fixed
seats
it
for
for
my
you.
companions."
I fixed for you.
At this final call, a
Look, it's
man
baby out
looks
there.
up
It's right
down
there.
the
So good.
looks up from halfway
So
down the
good.
cathedral and beckons you forward.
Ban me.
Places are found for
Don't-
you as
don't
those
do that.
close
We're
by offer
friends.
greetings and ask your names.
A
The
punch.
welcome is
No.
genuine and heartfelt, reflecting that their coming service is a period of warmth and rebirth. As you guys find your
Playing
seats,
Rebirth?
the doors begin to close,
Playing quads.
and then they
No big
get
deal.
pushed open again as you see your companion, Zaragak, out of breath, covered in snow, this new grizzled cape around his neck, and he is like holding one door open, has his one hand on his
I
knees, and
killed
he's
the
just like,
baby owlbear in Baldur's Gate 3.
he ran all the way
They're
from
so cute.
the capital city.
Why would you do that?
Oh my
You don't have to kill
The-
everything.
Two ushers that
I
are
like
trying to
these.
close the door,
But it's so
they kind of
cute, you
like
can't kill
just
it.
open the doors even wider. One helps you up, and come in, come have a seat. Everyone's welcome today.
That's not cool. To be
I
fair,
scoot down
I didn't
a little
know
bit
there was no.
I make room and I like call him over. I'm like, Zara, hey, hey.
Find any good
About time
bones?
you, it's
killed
about
it.
time you showed up.
Got some new bones.
Good.
Vote.
Good.
Nice.
As he takes a seat next to you, Aurelia, you notice that the
animals, you fuck.
cape around him, it is grayish in fur color, although there's some brown splotches. There are holes throughout it that look like they've been there way before. And roll me a history check, please, Aurelia.
History. Just blind.
I'm gonna cry, Ginger.
Wait. I don't.
It's really loud. Hold
Ghost
on.
town?
Oh, I'm just very, very blind. Sorry. There we
No
go.
worries.
Oh,
There.
So with that, you don't remember what the pelt is made out of, but you remember you've seen it like in his pack here and there as he's been
that's
packing and
rough,
unpacking over the last
Ginger.
couple weeks. And there's a slight stench to it of rot. But if you were to put a finger on it, it's not coming from the cure, it's coming from the actual fur. But then as you look up and down, you see like, the bones and his weapons, and
How
the
about a
cape kind
new
of goes with the
subject,
look.
Ginger?
yeah.
Instead of taking
That's
out the
that
cute baby owlbear
Fur
in
you were
Baldur's Gate
carrying
3.
around with you for a while. It's kind of got a
You-
couple holes.
It's from the zombie bear.
Oh, yes. Is that a good
You're
look? I feel like the
I just don't
holes-
want to cry.
Does it keep
That's
you
really
warm?
sad.
It's pretty warm. Helps me hold some more bones too.
As you guys are talking, one of the little children of the villagers walks by, and he looks at you, Zaragak, and kind of like, and runs off. And you see a bunch of the kids in the back like whispering and pointing at you, and they're kind of like keeping a very wide breadth of you.
Let's check, see if I
Ginger
stink.
woke up and chose violence.
Just run after all that running.
Do you,
And I
do you
Dana,
stink?
Is there a stink check?
Dana sees the scared kids, kind of giggles a little bit. She's
I
like, they
just
have
kinda
no
like,
idea.
"Oh."
Kids getting scared of
Was
Zaragak
aware
is
llama.
very funny to Dana because she knows what Zaragak is really like.
We're like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
So as you guys get settled, you hear like, everyone roll me a perception check. There's a
Remember
lot
that
of
time
like, if you've ever been
there was
into
a cute
a
little
church
baby
pre
owlbear?
service, there's always like a little bit of murmuring and a little bit of
And
like
Ginger killed
scooching around. You
it.
could hear the pews creaking as people shuffle around and give greetings. Um,
Makes me
Dana
sad.
and Merity, you
So sad.
hear words like coming darkness and vigil for light. And it seems to be a very common
If ever changing subject, I can't get
phrase that
over
those two have
your
been
violence.
passed around all the different conversations. But you settle in to your seats, and you
Get
guys
nestled
take
in
up
their
a whole
seats.
pew of amongst yourselves. You're quite the you stand out quite a bit compared to the villagers. Your armor, your weapons, your various eccentricities, bones, and you're literally in like, I would say like farm town USA, pretty much. Like these people are very salt of the earth, very, common and simple people. But the building is packed. As you watch more people, like the last couple dregs of people funnel in, it's wall to wall. There's standing room only by the end of it, and the children are sat on the floor, in between the pews on the sides,
I think you just like
between them and the
saying
wall,
pew.
or in the back. While the exterior of the cathedral is gray stone, the interior is built of lustrous wood from local trees, as are the simple benches which serve as pews and line the hall on both sides from front to back.
So in
A
essence,
large
is
fire
Zaragak
on a
a
raised
boner?
plinth burns brightly, bathing the withered and wrinkled faces of
No.
the villagers in a flickering otherworldly glow.
Since he is a collector of bones,
One
he
villager turns
carves
around
things out of
and
his
says to you,
bones.
"The fire is never.
But he has to hang them to
The
dry.
crackling, 'tis said to be of the spirits of the warriors long passed from this world. They talk to us, not to warn us or teach us, but to help relive their glories, so we remember the sacrifices they made for their
Yes,
children
Ginger.
and
That is an
grandchildren.
astute observation,
War
good sir.
is never
You
an
get
easy
a
affair.
gold star.
Those involved
Proud
are
of you.
swept up in a way, oftentimes lost in the minds
You
of our
mathed that
rulers.
math.
Here
Well done.
at Clavik's Edge, we recall those that brought light to our lives.
I'll take a red star.
To this day, they give us
No,
vision,
it's gold.
warmth, and shelter. Juriendor has
His
shown
murder-
us much things. Such things. Soon he'll arrive to share more wisdom. And
I really feel like the music's too
The
loud. Anybody
farmer
else have an
turns
opinion on
around
this?
and
It's really loud.
seeing his wife speaking to you, she kind of like puts his arm around her, like kind of like brings her in closer to him,
Smacks
and
out.
like, okay,
We
that's
love you
enough, Helga.
anyway.
That's
You
thank
violent
you. You're scaring the
bastard.
new people.
A little bit.
I'm literally just sitting there the whole time, like,
Do you guys-
okay.
What do you guys do in response? Like she's still looking at you, like over her shoulder, like smiling.
I'm just like, it's okay. Okay.
Let's goes.
Sure. I'm just trying to like make sense of it in my head, but I'm still really confused. Like,
Yeah, same.
I'm just
Dana just-
sitting there,
Dana
like,
just-
scribbling a little note and internal flames. Sorry, what was that last part again, sweetie?
Peaches, roll me a persuasion check to see if she continues on with anything.
Oof.
Oh.
Unfortunate.
She just looks at you and she says, and she repeats everything she just said, which is
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank
Oh,
you so
cool.
much.
and she keeps looking to see
Hey,
if
it's
anybody else has
Sparkles Mania. I got you
anything to
tapped.
say.
Hey, Bam, thank you so much. I
This is-
appreciate it.
This is a dark time, but this is a great ritual.
Let's
I'm
see.
glad you're all here.
I'm
Is he
excited
up?
to
If
see
he's
it. I
up,
mean,
then
we were
we'll
brought here to help,
pop
so
him back up,
hoping
too.
we can.
Help. This is,
No, he's just playing.
well, I
games.
suppose
Or-
any help is necessary. Is good.
Thank you for the shout out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Grim.
Help.
He's good at that.
And
He's,
she has, you
like,
realize she has no
on it
idea what the fuck
every
she's
time.
talking about.
You have a good celebration, man.
How soon
Um,
is soon?
Trigger, roll me a charisma, persuasion check.
You have to set our color.
Is this the village crazy lady?
No. Let's see. So
I'm violent.
over the next couple of minutes while people are getting situated, she lets you know that Juriendor is the high priest of this village, and he's in possession of an
Auto-centering
artifact called the
off?
Moon Shard,
Fuck that.
which is used
You
in
don't want
this
that
ritual to protect the
We
village.
choose mint.
Winter solstice being the longest
Perfect.
night of the year, and local superstition states that the veil is thinnest
I
during
woke up
this
with a
night,
message from
and so
Boss Man
this
that
ritual is
made me
performed
angry.
to
So,
reconstitute the fortifications, magical
do you have to
thereof,
work
of
today?
the village. And
I know with all the weather
he
and stuff, it's pain for a lot of people.
through the veneration of a
He
rather
tried-
distant god of war,
Shitty.
the ritual, they believe, helps. There's never been any proof, but they
It's
believe.
like 7 degrees out here.
With that
That is
roll,
really fucking cold.
let's see. She would also say, well, you know, we can't prove anything, but since adopting the ceremony, no more attacks from the Vic Mordir barbarians have occurred, and the village has been kept safe. And we all have Juriendor and the Moon Shard to thank.
Could you imagine up on a tower or something if you had to go up? Like that's
So we can all hear her
cold
saying
and
this?
dangerous.
She's just speaking out
No.
loud. Mhm.
What is? Do you know what the ritual
Hard pass.
calls for? Because they say it refills the magic.
And she goes through and she dictates, like, he reads from some verses from a book. He takes out the Moon Shard. The Moon Shard usually glows brightly, and then it dims, and then the magic is preserved.
And catching me 200 feet in the air with that. Nope. No.
Would I know anything about the barbarians?
That's some hell.
No, these
shit.
are other world, like from a this is a whole different plane of existence. So
Okay.
you would not have heard. They were very concerned that you were not going to be attacked because you're a barbarian, but they're
Okay.
Yeah.
human barbarians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, I asked. I was like, whoa.
She does also state that during the previous attacks, many villagers were killed. This was in the dark times before
Sounds such a-
Juriendor and the Moon
hell.
Shard were sent
It
to
does.
us. There was a small boy whose father later took a vision walk, if you will, and never came back
Oh.
once he was killed. Juriendor feels responsible and wishes he could have been here to protect the village from the darkness and the threats of the Dark Wood. And that's why this ritual is so important. Juriendor places all weight of protection
back
on
like,
this ritual for the coming year.
I got you.
Aurelia being a little bit kind of still reeling from Khazriz turning like he did. She's like still a little bit hesitant kind of about this. She's like kind of suspicious about it because she's like because of her study with magic and stuff. She's like, she's a little suspicious on why we're here.
I'm curious about the lady mentioned
Ooh, shiny hammer.
like a
Yes.
previous war. Can I ask her like what this war was, like who was it, and like what was the war like because of?
Roll me a charisma check or persuasion check.
You said persuasion?
Yes.
Damn it.
So
It was because of
all
Albert.
she's willing to look at,
Shush.
she says you
You're
don't
no.
know of the conflict with the Vic Mordir. This has been
Sad.
going on for centuries until the king
So sad.
routed them out of this land. They originally built this village.
You're out
and
for destruction.
they held a ritualistic ceremony on this night, just like we do. And there's some writings that I've never seen, but that detail the power of a ritual held such as this on this night. But as for the conflict, they're barbarians. They seek to steal and take what's other people's and
Little
basically
did I know my
rain havoc upon the
was
populace.
actually the bad guy this entire time.
Mm.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
at least what the history books say. This
'Cause he kills that
conflict
baby
has been
owlbears.
over for
Obviously,
years now.
there could be no other understanding.
Sorry for us not being aware of the conflict. We're just not from the area, as you can tell.
Of course,
We're,
dear, of course.
We're a little out
Fine.
of place at the moment.
Well, welcome to Ribalka. And so if I'm the first to be grateful that you're here, welcome into the cathedral. I hope that the ritual is enlightening and that you enjoy the service. And she finally turns around
They're
and
gonna massacre everybody.
gives you a nod and smiles and turns around and resumes
It's
waiting
a
for this
bloodbath
ritual
waiting to
start.
happen. I don't trust it. Not
After
at
a
all.
few moments, people begin to funnel into their seats where they
start
have
turning
them
into
or stand at the
zombies.
corners of the room. And the cacophony of murmurs and whispers die down.
We're
There's
tigers.
you guys see a young acolyte descend a staircase near the front gates, like dude.
I just kind of like, I just want to say that I just like whisper to everyone, like really slightly, just kind of like, is anyone just like a tiny bit suspicious of what's going on? Or are we just,
Oof.
I don't know, I've got a feeling. It could just be my head, but I don't know.
Your
I
map
feel like we're still missing
disappeared.
some information.
The map disappeared.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, there it is.
Very vague.
Aha.
Oh shoot, I did not mean to do that. I exited out of it. Is it just in the images?
There you go.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I was just trying to make it bigger and I
Fucking
accidentally
auto
did.
center.
And then let me add you guys. Are you guys more of a front pew people or a back pew people?
Back pew.
Yeah, I would say back. I would say back with our group. I would definitely say back.
Well, Belle's usually a front person, but she just followed everyone else. You know, trying to live
Fair
like the common folk.
I want the
enough.
least amount of eyes on me as possible, just in case, you know. Because I don't
Plus,
know
we're
how.
close to the exit.
Yeah.
They're gonna
yeah.
turn.
I
It's
feel
a
like we were
map.
probably some of like the last
This is
people
bad.
to come in too. So like.
Yeah,
No.
to get a seat.
From a window to the
To the wall.
south wall,
So
a
from
little
the
baby
window
owlbear.
to the
To the
wall.
wall.
Okay.
Yeah. A little owlbear climbs the wall and peeks in through the window, watching as all the people of the town congregate. It
Yes.
has no idea why.
Mander.
It doesn't know. It doesn't know things. It barely knows its ABCs. But it's
Mandy.
Oh,
Hi.
It's just a baby.
So good.
do we see this adorable owl bear?
Roll me a perception check.
Don't touch.
All of
I
us
would
are
love
just
to roll
her.
a perception check.
If you'd like to try to see the owlbear, roll me a perception check.
No! I have a...
Fucking invisible.
Damn it.
Shit.
You all do not see the owlbear.
Don't touch the owl bear.
The
I'll fight
DC was
you.
20.
Oh,
There'll be
Yeah,
other
I had a
chances.
feeling that the DC was gonna be high for that.
It's a little owlbear.
Yeah.
There's all this hustle and bustle going on around you. It's a random window in the wall. Like, she picked a good one. It's towards the back. I feel like Mandy, you'd be on the windowsill, nestled up in the snow, comfortable, and just watching the proceedings.
that's so cute. She's got like a little snow
Sounds
bed.
pretty-
She's just
pretty
like
accurate.
watching.
Mm-hmm. So a young acolyte descends the staircase near the front gates, right where that arrow is I drew. People turn to him with broad smiles.
So many hit
But as
points.
they do, they
It's
twist away from
disgusting.
the
I cast
firelight
fireball.
and their faces fall
Get
into
out
shadow.
of town.
Then, what you could
Do we
only
have
assume to be Juri
I have
Endor
rations.
appears on the stairwell,
Don't start.
moving towards the front of the cathedral.
Do not move.
His face lit up
She's
as the
moonwalking
gaze
away.
of the congregation follows
It's
him.
fine.
The individual faces become equally illuminated as they turn to the front. The high priest is dressed in celestial chainmail armor,
Nothing.
and its legendary sheen there for
We have
all
no
to
skills.
see.
We're so young.
From the front of the cathedral, you hear a single voice of one of the townsfolk. Guide us through darkness so that there may be light. The others begin to shout phrases such as, Juri Endor, please guide us, and protect us from the Darkwood devils. Bestow us with light.
They're gonna turn.
If the
Swear it goes
if
bad.
you stop and you
Zombies.
listen, you can hear all the other villagers kind of repeat those two phrases
Shelby
like
has
it's
the
a
cat.
conditioned
And it's
response.
Just
I feel
getting
weird
a
about this.
weird.
Yeah.
I'm getting a weird. I'm getting a
Shelby's
strange,
cat for the win.
strange vibe from the group.
As the ushers close the
And I kind of like get
Mhm.
defensive a little bit. Like I just kind of like sit up and I'm more aware of what's going on.
Okay. Roll me a religion check. Aurelia.
Come on, roll.
So with that, you would feel the sacred energies of the cathedral begin to coalesce into the main room
They're gonna
as the
die.
ushers close the doors. It's not like it feels like it's a spiritual hermetic seal, just like,
They're locking him in.
and all the magic that is divine magic from this high priest emanates in the room, palpable for you.
Whoa,
I'll be right back.
big magic, guys.
I feel
Big
like
magic guy.
Dana witnessing this kind of becomes a little uneasy because it kind of reminds her of some of the Loth kind of like ritual-esque type of stuff that she witnessed when she was little. And she does not vibe with it at all. She's like, this feels a little cultish. She doesn't say it out
What's so
loud, but she's
bad
like
about
in
a
her head,
cult,
kind of like
honestly?
it feels a little culty.
I know what a
Zergak,
cult
as
was.
the rest, as Aurelia's kind of getting these vibes,
They didn't survive.
you see one of the ushers begin to walk towards the door, and another, as one of the children goes to run out to grab a forgotten item. And the usher stops him, picks him up, and he
You never
gives him a
died,
hug
by
and
the
goes,
way.
"Not tonight.
Oh, in that one,
We
yeah.
must all stay
I meant
inside
when we
tonight.
dealt with the cultists.
Go be with your family. Whatever is forgotten will be there in the morning." And he puts the child back down, and he runs back off to one of the pews with his family.
Before we, do anything, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor real quick.
I'm a ghost. Boo.
All
Good
right.
idea.
Yeah.
Is that visible?
Is it visible?
Bro,
It wouldn't be
Manny,
permanently
made a whole
visible,
fucking
but
next.
what does it look like when you
You
cast
did.
it?
They
Just a little like
Self-remove
shimmer kind of covers the
off
skin.
of that
It
plane
just
of existence.
looks shiny,
glitter.
kind of. A little bit
So-
of glitter.
For us, for a
Commanding
moment,
presence,
this
if you will.
glistening, like second skin almost runs across Belle's skin, and she.
I see, and I kind of cough to draw attention. I'm like to myself instead of her. Sorry.
Thankfully, she's in the back, and everybody's looking at Juriandor, so nobody notices the magic. But after a moment, it fades. So you went like a little Twilight vampire for
singular
a minute,
outlook.
and then
They were evil cultists.
came right back.
Stop it.
And what you
can I
guys
do my danger sense also?
do? You have it? You need to put it on. Yeah. Yeah. If you guys have any effects like danger
Manny,
sense or
I'm
whatever
out
that
here.
just are always on you, go ahead and put them on right
Generations
now.
off the map.
Okay.
That's a
that's my
fair point, and I recognize that. But
I'm
the
just going to
owlbear's cute.
I'm just going to very discreetly pull out my dagger and hold it like between my legs, like kind of hidden.
Do, 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 do.
Oh no.
Oh no.
no.
As you do that, one of the ushers walks over and behind you in the pew leans down and says, "That will not be needed tonight, but if it makes you feel safe, it is welcome. Please just don't hurt anyone here." And he tiptoes away back to the corner. And
I just silent nod.
as you
They show up to a
are doing all this,
festival, they're just
Juriander
out
reaches the
to-
front of the
This is
church,
bad.
and what you see is this. This is Juriandor. Meredy, you would notice as he stands in front of his congregation, this high priest, draped in ceremonial ancient armor. His station is obviously very high up in his order. But the face inside of the helmet is young, like early 20s young.
Oh, he's a baby still.
There is a presence of divine magic in him that you can, if you can't feel it, you can definitely see that this man
Mandy
holds a
gets that
presence.
trophy.
Even in his lack of
Fair.
age, he is everything that a high priest should be. He is a fatherly figure, even at such a, like in his just basically early 20s.
That big magic guy.
I like his
Once
hat.
Once at the front of the cathedral, Juriender pulls a long wooden
He
torch
looks
from
like
the wall and
Cusco,
uses
all
the
grown up.
large brazier at the plinth to set it alight.
Yep.
It momentarily
Little bit.
glows as brightly as daylight.
Look at
You have
him.
to shield your eyes to look at it. Dana, this
Mama!
totally fucks with your sunglasses.
It's a good idea.
She's just
Does
like,
it-
oh.
Yeah,
shit."
exactly.
Just like,
She's just doing this, trying to like peek through her fingers or something, because like I want to see, but like also this is blinding
don't
me.
want to blind.
It's like looking into the sun, like, I have to watch the eclipse, but ow!
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah. Wait, can I pull out my sunglasses and put them on?
Yes.
Okay, I
Right.
pull out my sunglasses and I put them on very frantically.
My
It's
bird
Everything-
sits on my shoulder and like puts a wing out and covers it. But, like, blocks the light.
I'm just like, oh,
Thank you, Zaragak.
Bam.
I'm like
Everyone-
behind Zaragak.
Everyone within the hall appears to be warm and comforted. The high priest chants a prayer, and all the villagers join him. It sounds complex. There's like a drone of intertwining ideas that seem more suited to a shaman than a clergyman. Trigger, you would definitely pick up on that, being that half-orc and orc tribes are shamanistic and not organized faith-based.
Yeah.
The rest of you would not get the difference. It's just a ceremony to the rest of you. Aurelia, you would also actually know that this is not organized faith-based. This is very tribal. After long minutes pass, the chant fades and a silence hangs heavy in the air. Then Juriendor unclips a small wooden box from the back of his armor. The box is finely carved and looks quite old and worn. As he slowly lifts the lid, a dark gray stone begins to shine like crisp starlight, followed by a pulsing blue-yellow glow that envelops his face. Children in the crowd gasp and call out, "The moon shard! It's the moon shard! I saw it! We're blessed! We're blessed!" But they're hushed quickly by their parents, and the high priest raises the small glowing rock carefully from the box. Holding it high for all to see, he begins to call out words in a mystic language. With each powerful word, the moon shard grows brighter. The air humming with energy, the crowd of villagers parts as Juriender walks the aisles, continuing the ceremony. So he's kind of like intermixing with the congregation, holding the moon shard aloft, and the glow falls on everybody. Suddenly, almost as part of the ritual, the doors of the cathedral burst open and the ceremonial gates rattle wildly in the blast. Two men, weapons on their backs, dressed in battered armor, stagger into the room, each carrying a badly injured individual. "Help us! Please! Help us now! We require healing, and our friends are at death's door! The evils of the Dark Wood are too many, too foul. Another ally is outside, turned to stone.
Hey, please.
Yet
and
I
how
dare
you
say
doing?
that
Good
no one
morning.
within these walls would
Happy
fancy to face
Sunday.
what lurks without."
I'll like shoot up but still like kind of cautiously like make my way over there, like alert, like and kind of like observe the situation before I like step up to anyone. I like look
Mhm.
at all of them, and I'm like, "You said you needed healing."
Yes. It, g- we were attacked outside, and our friends, they fell. And you roll me a medicine check on the first one, please.
Just woke up. 1 p.m. Oh, goodness.
Are they people from the village?
You would not know that. Their
Okay.
garb is that of like a ranger almost.
Mm.
Some of them are armored more than others.
For some reason,
The
I woke
one-
up
the
super
first
early
one,
this morning. It was really weird.
Aurelia, you would see that the wounds are minor. The blood loss is what's getting him, but there's
Yes.
nicks and scratches, and
Thank you for the
using
raid,
your
Blazin'. I
healer's
appreciate
kit,
it.
you're able to bind up the wounds and get him stable. Looks like the death saving throws he was rolling are stopped.
Okay, who did this to
I
you?
beat you, Grim.
Can't can you heal Thyron? Heal Thyron first, and then maybe we could talk. But he's worse off than Gold Sneezer.
Okay. And I go
Gold
over to his
Sneezer.
friend and
You
I go
walk
over.
up to this man. He's a very tall, brooding man. He has this fearless glint in his eye as he staunchly holds his compatriot in his arms. This man looks like he's been fighting the demons of hell since he was able to walk. His companion is garbed in full plate mail armor, and the armor has these runes that look to be of some holy order. He has long, flaming hair, red hair, and there's a dark scar on the right of his face, and one of his eyes is basically white because the scar goes right through his eye.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Sorry.
Brother.
Gregor, the tall man, this is Thyron. You will help him, yes?
Yes, I need to be able to get to him. Can I see where he's injured, please?
He lays him down gingerly, and you can see that there are several stab wounds and cuts throughout his unarmored body. Like, I mean, in between his chest plate and his armor plate, his arm plate, there's like slashes here, and on his light ones on his neck that look like one more millimeter he'd have been out.
Well, I lightly remove the armor and start getting to work on patching him up. And
roll me
While
the medicine
she's
check. Go ahead, Belle.
while she's doing that, can I ask them where they came from and who attacked them?
Yes. So while you're doing that, Aurelia, you're continuing to bind the wounds of this young armored soldier, possibly a paladin. And this takes a good 5 or 10 minutes for you to get both of them to a point of stasis. The leader, he looks at you and Belle, and he says, "My name is Maharl Griffinwind. We are Griffinwind's gatherers. We're a local relic hunting group of this area, and occasionally we bring in deer from the forest for the villagers to eat. We were out scouting the darkness, trying to ensure that the perimeter of the town is safe. This night is always dangerous. It's nothing that the Griffinwind gatherers can't handle, but tonight it was more so.
Oh, goodness.
Dark beings in the shadows shot at us with arrows, and creeping undead things slashed us with swords. It was more than we could handle, and we just barely got away. Just as we made our way into the cathedral, Sven was struck by something and turned to stone in front of our eyes, and it was all we could do to make it through the doors and close them before we were attacked as well.
Sven is stone. Stone Sven.
Can I roll for insight to make sure he's telling the truth?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I love that.
And like Aurelia's like
so
listening, like listening to everything happening, like binding.
Oh, that's actually a good point. So you're as you're binding, you're like looking at the wounds and what have you.
Yeah,
so,
I'm looking at everything.
Cool. All right. So
as soon as I hear that there was undead, I'm also double checking the wounds to make sure that there's nothing like that's going to cause an infection, and like I'm just being really subconscious about everything.
Belle, you would notice that Maharl has scratch marks on his face as he's talking to you. It looks like claw marks.
Beer, need coffee.
In meta, he's down a couple HP, but he's not dying. He's just injured. And he waves off any like notice of just don't know. I'm fine. These two are the ones that need to be taken care of.
I'll get to you in a moment.
As you roll me an Arcana check, Aurelia or Belle, either one of you.
I can roll it, Lex.
Yeah, go for it.
As Maharl waves you off, you notice that Gold Sneezer, the one that Aurelia is tending to, there's like signatures of magic in his wounds, so you can only ascertain that he was attacked by a spell or several spells. You can't tell how many, but there is the scent, if you will, of magic that is emanating from these injuries. As you focus in on this, your owl staff begins to glow green, and you recognize this damage and arcana energy to be necrotic.
And I relay all that information to Aurelia.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of that.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did they specifically say that the people, like the things attacking them, were undead, or did they say just like dark beings?
They said
said
dark
undead.
beings and undead.
Okay.
They said both.
Dark.
Nope.
Can I ask them about the dark beings? Like,
Yeah, we're gonna
Go
ask
ahead.
questions. Like, what kind of?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I kind of am curious as to if they could describe the dark beings a little bit more. Like what they looked like.
They looked like dark beings, red eyes in the darkness. We didn't stick around to look. They were shooting arrows. We couldn't fight off the amount that there were, and so we
They were-
ran.
And they were using magic on you?
1 second. Yes, red eyes. The deepest red I've ever seen.
And they were mostly shooting at you with arrows, like mostly like.
Arrows, we didn't, none of them hit true and stuck, thank goodness. So
Goblins?
I did not
I don't
see
know.
the arrows, but they were definitely missiles of some type.
I go over to Aurelia, and I bend down to whisper in her ear.
I'm like bending, and I like lean over to her as I'm like finishing.
I'm
up.
just like, I think it's Drow. I think it might be Drow. Loth Drow specifically, because they have red eyes. Saladrin
I like
Drow
nod.
don't, from what I know, from what Dana knows, Saladrin Drow don't have red eyes typically. It's usually mostly Lothsworn Drow because Loth is crazy like that. Anyways, but yeah, no, I bend down and I tell her, I'm like, I think this might be Drow, but it makes no sense to Dana because like, why would Drow be out here?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But I take note and I nod. I don't respond just to draw suspicion, and I just acknowledge her and I'm like, okay.
How many
Roll
eyes
me-
did you see?
Multiple pairs. I could not stop and count. To be fair, I can count to 12, so more than 12.
Okay.
But 2 eyes per being.
Yeah, so you know,
Everyone always
take that into
picking on us
account.
lonely drows.
Aurelia,
Hey.
as you hear Dana talk to you about Drow, roll me a history check.
It is the Rise of the Drow campaign, so it
Because we're in an entirely
there's a lot
different
of
plane.
drows.
Dana's like thinking in her mind, we're in an entirely different plane. Why would Drow be here?
Nat 20.
Nice.
Let's
So-
go.
Let's go.
While Dana is contemplating the existence of her quote-unquote cousins in this plane of existence, Aurelia, you think in your head, Drow. What are Drow known for? What are Drow? Poison.
I can't hear right now because I'm
And
picking up a delivery, and I
you
will hear you when I
Take
get back
your
to the car.
herbalism kit
But hi,
and you
Mander.
pull a leaf.
Hi,
I like
Bob.
quickly
How
pull
are you?
everything out.
Mhm.
Well,
You take
I'll
a
say hi
leaf from
when
a
you get back to the
thornberry
car.
tree and you stick it on one of his wounds,
But
and it
Thank
immediately
you, Greg.
turns into like mulch almost. And that's a true sign of poison. Thyron, the armored soldier, has several small where is it? Several multiple
did.
several serrated blade injuries in multiple directions, like slashing all over the place. And he does have poison in his blood.
Oh no!
Would Dana be
Uh,
able to pick up on this poison?
I played a Drow spider rider in my
You wouldn't
last
feel
session.
it, and you wouldn't know what the leaf
That
does, because
sounds
that's
good,
just
though.
for that's Aurelia's
spider rider?
herbalism
That'd
kit,
be
so she
fun.
knows what each thing does in there.
Be a good time.
Can
To fight
I
a spider
see
all
if,
over because you
do I have
grow
any?
up walls?
Can I
and
like
stuff?
try to make a quick, see if I can make something to staunch it, or like
Yeah.
help?
So taking out more of the thornberry leaves, you take your mortar and pestle and you basically turn it into a poultice, and
Mhm.
you use your thumb and you scrape out the mixture and you put it on each of the wounds, and his labor breathing after a moment becomes calm, and you keep
Usually
reapplying the poultice
3.5?
until it
Oh,
stops
nice.
basically rotting on it.
Mhm.
So you
I
put
need
it in,
everyone.
it rots, and
I have
it,
not
you wipe it
played,
off, and you put more on that rots. You put on
3.5.
it for 2 or 3
we're only playing
applications.
5e
It finally sticks
right
and
now.
stays green.
But it would be
I
fun
need
to do a
everyone that was
3.5.
injured at all, scratches, anything, to come over to me now, please. I was like, I need to get this solved before any of you get more hurt.
They kind of stand there and like, let you. They kind of like, I was hit here, and there's this one back here, and you go through and you take care. Each of them, it takes one application for
Mhm.
the poison. Like if
Like
there
the
was
little ones.
poison, it's gone now. As you're doing that, you hear heavy footsteps behind you, and you look behind, and the rest of you see Juriendor walking from the front of the church to the back where you guys are, helping out the gatherers. And he leans down in a very deep voice, says, "Excuse me, there's a statue outside that I must see to."
Oh,
Grandma,
and
she
then just
never
like
heard
move
what I ended up getting
away, I
in my
guess,
last
when I'm
session
trying
of
to.
D&D.
I'm all,
Did
can
she?
you see him?
Oh,
No.
oh, right. They said one of their friends got turned to stone out there.
Mhm.
I remember.
Sorry, I've just got so much going on. I forgot about the
Understood.
statue friend.
No, you should tell her.
We help where we
Yes.
can. This, though, I feel is something that I can do. Beg your
But
pardon.
what about
I will wait.
but what about
patiently.
everything else out there? You would need help with that.
The ushers move aside as he gets to the doors. He pushes open the double doors and moves into the entryway. Getting to the massive doors to the cathedral, he slams his I guess that would be a scepter on the ground, and this golden ball of light appears around him. He pushes the doors open, and it's like everything in the ball is like daylight. He walks out. See, you guys see this.
He's so bright.
A lot of bright going on.
You see this man statue thing reaching out for safety, frozen
I'm
solid,
driving.
like in mid stride,
Speech
totally
is
turned to stone.
So translations may
He
come
is-
out funny. Okay, I'm prepared.
Snow is covering him. For all intents and purposes, he looks like a statue, exactly like he's carved from marble. Driendor walks up to him, touches his scepter to his forehead, and you hear the mumbles of a prayer to his god. And slowly, the stone skin around him begins to crack as light begins to shoot out from the rivulets between the plates of stone. And then with a crash, it all falls like glass, and a man falls to the floor. And he turns into the church and, "Quickly, Mayor, ushers, come out and help this man inside."
Damn.
And
And
they
I, like,
rush out.
Wave him over to me. I'm like, come here.
They rush out, grab him, and they deposit him right there with the rest of the gatherers. And he is seemingly, he's unconscious, but he doesn't look to be hurt.
I like look him over and like checking for injuries and cuts and
the one gatherer that is now not studying, he looks to be breathing. He's kind of lucid, like his eyes are trying to open. And after a moment, Nahara walks over and just
Terrifying.
1 second, gives him a light smack on the cheek. And
I like help him. Kind
I
of sit up
hate
a
when
little
you
bit.
do that.
We ended up
You were
fighting
just
a mummy
laying there.
that had an eyeball in a jar.
Get up.
And because my sword, it
The-
speaks to me.
as-
It
He was
tells me
just
to do bad things.
Stone.
So I
And
took
I help him sit up
my
slowly.
eyeball
Just
out
stone.
and
He
replaced
wasn't
it with the one in
hurt.
the jar. And now
I like roll my eyes at him and I like
Oh.
just help the guy sit up slowly and I'm like, are you
That's
okay?
badass.
Like, do you feel
It is.
funky
Yeah,
anywhere?
it's kind of badass. That's pretty cool.
No, I'm fine. I just need a moment to collect my thoughts. And he gets to his feet as the ushers begin to close the
Just
doors again
pop out
as
your
the
eye.
light
Fuck
fades
it.
from
Why not?
outside.
So do we need
The,
to handle what's going on out there? Or are we, like, what's happening?
One of the ushers hears you say that, and he goes, "There is no handling what's out there."
You'd be surprised on what we could handle, sir.
If I use any of the
Do you know
spells
what's out there?
that it provides me, there's a 5% chance of becoming
Darkness. and all the things that crawl within
becoming-
it.
Of you becoming an
All
NPC?
the things
Oh,
that
goodness.
crawl within it. You might be mighty, but they have numbers. Safer to stay in the cathedral. They can't come in. Roll me a perception check.
Dangerous to use your
Dana.
eye then.
I was about to ask if I could do that.
Oof.
You hear nothing from outside. But as you are like walking along the openings to see if you hear anything, you hear Maharo, just stay inside. They can't
Save
get in here.
those
That's why we ran
precious.
here.
Do I have inspiration?
Is there a star next to your name, your picture on the top left?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you do.
Can I use my inspiration to re-roll that perception?
Sure.
Okay. How do I get rid of the inspiration?
So there's a checkbox at the top of your character sheet. It says INSP.
I see.
Unclick
I
it.
see,
There you go.
I see.
And then
okay.
go and re-roll your perception check.
Okay. Cool.
Does anyone else still have inspiration,
And-
Cloud?
Belle does.
Okay. Thank you. We shall.
So with the 22,
Correct.
you can't hear any
Now it is
like
accurate.
growling or anything like that. The forest sounds angry. The wind whipping through the trees is making the old boughs of the trees creak and moan, and the
I have inspiration. I'm
the
fully
wind
inspired.
whips through the eaves of the church. It's doesn't feel all too welcoming.
Did we not keep the
outside.
inspiration from last night? From last week? I'm very inspired.
had a
Aurelia
question.
doesn't sit
I'm
down
not sure. You'd have to
since
double
she's
check. It
uneasy.
should
She just
hold it
kind of
over,
stands by the window
But double check with Cloud.
and like looks over the crowd now. Like she's like leaning against the wall. She's a little uneasy now. She's like something's
like
something's
so
happening.
inspired.
Okay.
I'm
She
She
proud
doesn't
of
know
you.
what.
Suspicion. I don't know if I'm right,
Mhm.
but I think we should definitely stay inside. I don't.
I'm not
think
saying we should or we shouldn't,
Like, I
but
don't
I
think
would.
you understand.
No, I agree.
I
agree.
have suspicions. I cannot
I just had a
confirm nor
weird
deny
idea for
them
my
because
D&D.
if it is true
Like
what I'm
Morgan
thinking,
Freeman
I'm
just
so
gave me a pep talk.
confused.
That's truly inspired.
And I'm
We'll-
mainly
we'll
just
stay
like
inside. We'll-
Aurelia's like
we'll
the
get
one
more
closest to
information.
me in proximity, so she's the one hearing like this is the most Dana has talked the entire time.
Fair
Like
enough.
she's just kind of rambling
I-
to Aurelia because she's kind of like trying to not freak out a little bit because if she's like if what they say is true,
I like pull her in for a second. I'm like, take a breath. We need to figure out what's going on.
Okay,
It'll
so
be
while
I'm
the
like,
two
do I
of
look
you-
okay? Do I
while
look
the-
normal?
While you're doing that, Zaragak, you had something to say.
good. You're fine.
Yeah. So with my Rooster's Cleaver, I have the wake up call, which is like an alarm spell.
Mm-hmm.
Can I like put a perimeter around the cathedral to see like if anything comes up on it to set an alarm? Or I
Let
don't really know how
me-
that works.
Yeah, let me tell you how the alarm works. So it's a 20-foot cube.
Okay.
So you could put it on one of the doors or on a window or wherever you'd like it, but it's 20 feet.
Okay. I'll just do that on the door.
Okay. So there is your alarm spell. And I'm going to get rid of these guys. Jury Endor makes his way back to the front of the church. Why is it doing that? There we go. And he once again intones the moon shard. It begins to glow once more, and the chanting commences. You look around, and the villagers look uneasy now. This proves their fears. There are things in the darkness. There are dangers that this ritual is holding back. And it's one thing to believe that something works because you think, because people tell
Still
you.
got bad vibes.
Mhm.
And it's another thing to know.
Not so happy
that there
anymore.
is evil
Fair.
out there
Sorry, I
trying
had to get out
trying
of the
get you.
cart and do the delivery. I
You
mean,
see some
my
of the
character
kids
has been
like
collecting
in their
body
mother's
parts
arms,
because she's
faces
morbid,
buried in their
so
necks.
it only
Like you
made
can see their
sense to
chests
take the
moving because
eyeball.
they're sobbing because
That's
they're afraid.
absolutely true.
Some of the men are eyeing the windows, and
Oh,
like
wait,
some of them
before
that have like walking
got it.
sticks and stuff
Let
have
me
them
know
in
when
their
you're back.
hands like a bludgeoning instrument, and they're just looking around.
Can I spot one of the kids if they're next to me and kind of like kneel down and like cast like light into my hand to like my cantrip just to make them like see if I can make them laugh like
Yes, you can.
to...
Roll me a
Wanted to keep an eye
persuasion
on them.
check.
That's true. Absolutely true.
We're gonna add 2 to it because you have an item to try to help them.
Ooh, I
Uh,
forgot I had dancing lights as a cantrip.
Yeah, we're gonna let Aurelia do this one, and then next time we can have
Oh,
you
my
play
gosh.
around too.
It won't let me grab the thing. Let me grab the thing.
Have a rave
Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
cathedral.
You're doing great, Aurelia.
My fantasy grounds isn't letting me have a grabby hand.
Okay, and back. Okay,
You can try to double click
that's
it.
absolutely awesome that you collect body parts. Because
Performance.
she's morbid. It's just a
There
positive
it
way of
goes.
saying it.
Oh, I asked
It's
for
just
persuasion.
because she's morbid.
Oh, persuasion.
It's
Sorry.
fine.
No worries.
But it makes sense too that she would go and take the
We're
eyeball
gonna add 2
and
to
then
that, so
use it
15.
too. Because
So
that's absolutely clever as fuck.
the
I love
child
it.
like he sees the light and he kind of like one eye looks at you, and he sees
And I
like
like smile over it like
ooh. And the tears like the tears down his face, like they're there but they stop, and he begins to, and as you dance it around like moving your hand back and forth, he's like, you look around, and with the 15, there any child within 20 feet of you is watching the light, and they are calmed. The adults, however, are not.
Yeah. It'll be okay. There's a lot of us here to protect you.
I can't wait for this to be over. We're safe once again. And as he says that,
Oh no.
the
Oh, no.
doors fly open once more,